Today we're going to be talking about the November 2023 market summary for the real estate market here in Central Kentucky. Hey, I'm Matt Fouch. I am a local real estate professional with Keller Williams Commonwealth. I am based here in the Lake Cumberland area, so if you're familiar with this part of the state, I'm sure you know about Lake Cumberland. Now, the information we're going to be going over today is brought to us by the Bluegrass Realtors Association, that local MLS. I am a part of this association of realtors, and the area that our association covers is a large part of Central Kentucky. It's hubbed in Lexington. It goes out east of Lexington over to eastern Kentucky. It goes west, going towards Louisville. It comes south, basically all the way down to the Tennessee line, and then it goes north quite a bit up until you get into kind of that northern Kentucky, Cincinnati market. So it's a large portion of the state of Kentucky. Now, these numbers that we're going to go over today, this is going to give you an idea of what's actually happening in this area with the real estate market. I know a lot of you probably watching are folks that are considering moving to Central Kentucky or moving to Kentucky in general. And so this will give you an idea of what's actually happening in this area. A lot of us get our information from the news or links that we see on social media, and a lot of this information can be maybe a little more specific to different parts of the country. You know, what's happening in New York or Florida or California, Arizona, Wisconsin, what's happening in those states may not be exactly what's happening with the real estate market here in this part of Kentucky. And so for us to make an informed decision, we need to really understand what's happening on the ground in the current market. Now, let me say, nobody has a crystal ball, right? So nobody can predict with 100% certainty the future of what's going to happen with the real estate market. You know, I have conversations every week with folks that say, I want to wait for the rates to come down, or I want to wait for prices to come down. Who knows if or when that will happen? I have heard some real estate market analysis professionals say that this is the new norm. We're not going back down. And so there's a lot of things floating around out there. So for you to be able to make an informed decision on moving to Kentucky, I want to give you what's currently happening with the real estate numbers for the market summary for Central Kentucky. This is November of 23. We're going to talk about what's happened this fall, and then we're also going to go back and we're going to talk about year over year. What was happening in November of 2022, and then what was happening in November of 2023. We're going to talk about active listings, sales prices, absorption rate, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be looking at my computer at the market summary that I just pulled up. I haven't committed these numbers to memory, but so I will be looking often down at these numbers so that I can make sure I'm giving you the accurate information. So again, I'm Matt Fouch, Keller Williams Commonwealth, local real estate pro. You can call, text, whatever you'd like, 859-409-8369 if you need to buy or sell real estate. So let's get into the numbers. So first off, we're going to start with the active listings. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with August. We're going to go through September, October, November, so that way you can get an idea of what's been happening this fall. So for the active number of listings in the entire coverage area of this MLS, in August there was 2,734. September, there was 2,901. October, 2,954. And in November, we had a total active listings of 3,026. So it's been a nice little increase. I guess maybe was that approximately 10% in the number of active listings over the last 4 months. Let's look here at, and I'm looking at the sold listings compared to the new listings as well. And it's just kind of a nice little steady. We're listing just a little bit more than what we're selling, which is why we're seeing that increase in the active number of listings. Now, even though we've seen an increase in the number of active listings, we have not yet seen a drastic reduction in a drastic reduction in the price of homes. You will see some homes that are doing price reductions, but what we're going to see later is there's actually an increase year over year in the average selling price of homes. So where the prices have actually continued to go up in 2023 as compared to 2022. Right now, this increase looks more of like a seasonality increase more than anything. It's not a drastic increase in the number of active listings. Let's talk about the absorption rate next. Now, the absorption rate is a number that they come up with so that if we do not list another home, yet we were to continue to sell homes at the current rate at which we are selling homes. Hope you're following so far. So if we didn't list another home, but we continued to sell at the same rate, how many months of inventory would we have available before we would run out of available homes to sell? I hope that makes sense. So in August, it was 2.4 months. September, it was 2.6. October, 2.7. And then in November, 2.8. So if we didn't list another home, but we continued to sell at the same rate as we have been selling, then our absorption rate, we would be out of homes to sell in 2.8 months. That's not a lot of inventory. So what you're seeing again is, yes, the number of active listings has slowly, very little, it's gone up over the last several months, but we would still sell all of our inventory in 2.8 months. So you still have what a lot of agents in this market are going to say, we still have a limited inventory available for those that are actively buying and looking to buy in this market. Let's look next at the sold median price. So the sold median price is half of the homes that sold were priced higher and half of the homes that sold are priced lower. So in September, we had a sold median price of $255,000. In October, $257,000. And in November, we had a sold median price of right at $260,000. So the sold median price is going up. Now back in July, it was at right at $269,000. So it is down a little bit over July, but July is normally a hot month in real estate, so a lot of things moving. So, but that sold median price being down a little bit is not anything big. I mean, it's $259. We got a strong price for November, and then we'll see the year over year here in a little bit. So we've talked about the absorption rate. We've talked about the number of active listings. We've talked about the sold median price. Let's go down to average days on market. So the average days on market, September was 38, October was 40, and the average days on market for November was 41.1. So even though we're seeing the absorption rate creep up just a little, the active listings creep up just a little, the average days on market is going up just a tad. I mean, it's only 41 days, which is still a strong real estate market, historically speaking. Let's now go down to the year over year. Again, like I said earlier, a lot of folks are saying, hey, I want to wait and see what happens with the prices. I want to wait and see what happens with the rates. And if you were saying that in 22 and you were waiting for 23, let me share with you what happened here in this local market, in this region of Kentucky. So the absorption rate in November of 22 was 2.4. The absorption rate November 23 is 2.84. So we're pretty close there. Not a whole lot of change. It's gone up a little bit. The average list price in November of 22 was $347,000. The average list price in November of 23 was $382,000. So you got about a 10% increase there. So now let's talk about the actual sold price. November of 22, the median sold price was $232,500. In November, that was November 22. In November of 23, the median sold price was $259,900. So an increase of 11.7%. So if you waited from November of 22 to buy in 2023, and now we're at November of 2023, the prices are now 11.7%. The sold prices are 11.7% higher. The average days on market in November 22 was 35, and the average days on market in November 23 is 41. So again, it's up a little bit, not drastic, nothing huge has changed. So, as a overall summary of what we're seeing year over year, we've seen a price increase, a little bit of an increase in the average days on market, but that has not affected the prices. The prices have not come down. In reality, the prices have continued to go up. And let me add to this part of the conversation here. If I were personally in the market to buy right now, I would be careful to say, I'm going to wait for the rates to come down, or I'm going to wait for the prices to come down. Like I say, nobody has a crystal ball to predict the future. It's anybody's guess of what's going to happen. Some people that would predict what's going to happen in 24, some of them's going to be right and some of them are going to be wrong, right? So it is what it is. Nobody has the crystal ball. But let me say this about the rates and the prices. If you choose to wait to buy because you want to wait for prices or rates to come down, let me present to you a scenario that you would not be happy about, and neither would I if I were personally looking to buy. Let's say that the rates do come down, but the prices do not come down. Well, when rates come down, likely what's going to happen is there are going to be more buyers coming into the market, or maybe even flooding into the market to say, hey, the rates are down, I want to buy now. Well, if the prices didn't drastically come down, but all of a sudden there are more buyers for the homes that are available, well, now you have a problem because now you have a lot more competition. And what might happen is those prices start going up drastically again. And so if that were to happen, then now, even though you got a lower rate, but the price went up on you, you may even be at the same payment. Right now you have less competition. The prices are not drastically coming down. And what we saw year over year, they're actually continuing to go up. The estimation for 24 by a lot of real estate economists is that we're going to see a 3 or 4% increase in prices again next year. So that scenario could play out. You got to ask yourself the question, am I comfortable paying the price? And am I comfortable with the payment? How would I feel if there's more competition next year if rates do actually come down? Here's another scenario. Let's say you sit on the sidelines and you wait to buy in 24. The rates don't come down. I mean, a 6% rate, a 7% rate, historically speaking, is not a horrible rate. It's actually a decent rate. It's not a bad rate, historically speaking, for the mortgage product. Now, it's bad coming off of historic lows, never seen before lows at 2.5% and 3%. Yeah, that's a bad rate. But historically speaking, for the mortgage product, a lot of you can talk to folks that were buying in the 70s and 80s. They saw rates in the teens, right? So, the rate is not horrible. The rate is actually not that bad. But let's say that you wait for rates to come down and rates don't come down. And let's say that prices continue to go up. Well, now you waited for a year and all that happened was now you're paying more for the home. Your mortgage payment is going to go up because prices went up. Rates did not drastically go down. So now you're just paying more. So there's a lot of things to think about. And regardless of where you get your information, these are the actual numbers on the ground in this market for this local area. And if you're looking to make a move to Central South Central Kentucky, let me know. My number is 859-409-8369. Call or text me. Let me know how I can help you with your real estate needs in 2024. And I would be happy to share more information about our market, send you homes that are available in the current market, or just to talk about a potential move for you in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you here in the state of Kentucky.